Hey guys, and welcome to my first World of Tanks tank review. And my first review will be of the AMX 50B. And why the AMX 50B, you ask? Well, because I think that it's a tank that is often misunderstood. All the time I hear people say that it sucks and that it's not a proper tier 10 heavy and whatnot. So what I decided to do was just go on a test server and give this thing a try. And I was absolutely pleasantly surprised because I think it's a beautiful, well-balanced piece of machinery. And that's why I wanted to do this review, because I think there's just a lot of people out there who don't know how to use this tank properly. But it's not going to be your usual kind of tank review that some other YouTubers around have been doing. I'm not going to be sitting in a garage for 15 minutes talking about stats and about why I think it sucks or about why I think it's good, and then show you some cool clips of some tricks you can do in this tank. Instead, I'm just gonna show you guys three battle replays, so you guys can see how it performs in a real combat environment, so all through a battle. And instead of my usual gameplay commentaries that I have been doing on my other videos, I'm going to be talking a bit more about the tank itself and about how I think you should use it. Also, it's going to be three replays on three completely different maps, again to give you guys some impression of how it performs in different kind of environments. Of course, I'm not the most experienced 50B driver. I don't have this tank on the light server yet. I've played a couple dozen battles on the test server. And what I found out is that it's basically an AMX 5100 on steroids. And because of that, even though I had little experience in the 50B itself, the 5100 is one of my all-time favorite tanks in the game, and I felt, because of that, very comfortable and very familiar with this tank. So let's quickly start with some stats, briefly. It has a 120mm auto-loader gun with 4 clips, 4 shells in each clip. It takes about 27 and a bit seconds to reload, 2.5 seconds reload time between the individual shots. Aiming time is good, accuracy is good. Penetration is 258mm with the normal AP shells, and 325mm with premium APCR shells, which is not bad. And then the second aspect of every tank is of course the armor, which on the 50B is not brilliant, to be honest. It's the side and rear of the hull there's basically no armor. The turret is not much better. It's pretty much non-existent. What it does have is I would go as far as saying the most well-armored front hull of any tank in the game. It's 170mm stick, which is it's not bad, but it's not great either. But what makes it so good is that it's, as you can see, just extremely well angled, and it can easily bounce even the biggest of guns in the game. Problem is, of course, strong hull, weak turret is kind of the opposite of what it should be. So very little hull down capabilities, especially because also the gun depression isn't brilliant. So it requires a bit of a different playstyle than other heavies. Not only because of that, but also because of the autoloader, of course. But then let's go quickly to the next, the third aspect of each tank, which is the mobility, and that is something that the 50B is very good at. It's probably the fastest, most mobile tank of any tier 10 heavies in the game. It weighs 60 tons, but it does have a top speed of 65 kilometers an hour and good acceleration. And that, together with the strong hull, makes it also one of the best ramming vehicles in the game, surprisingly. Because it's a French tank, but it's together with the E50 and the E50M, probably one of the best rammers in the game, which is something that it might come in useful from time to time. But ramming is not something that I aim for. I prefer to use my gun, but if necessary, you do have that. So let's talk a bit more about how I think you should use this tank. Well, there's two kind of playstyles. The first one is the obvious, because you're a support tank. You're not a main battle tank. Is to play from the second line as a support tank. Just let your heavies and the well-armored TDs and all of those guys get in front, and you just support them from 50, maybe 100 meters behind. The problem is that here you can see I'm playing as a frontline tank, which is because in random battles your team just sometimes doesn't allow you to use your strengths to the fullest, and sometimes, if your whole team is sitting back, someone has to take charge and start leading the battle from the front. But mainly you should try to use this as a support tank, so don't be afraid to sit a bit back and let others take the damage. You're not supposed to soak up damage. You're not a damage soaker. You're supposed to do damage. And then The second gameplay style I'll be showing in my next two replays is more as a kind of a fast, heavy, slow, medium. Pretty much the same thing as with heavies. You follow your mediums instead. Again, maybe 100 meters behind, and you support them instead of your heavies. It just depends on the map and on the team setups of both teams, the tank setups, and of course on the situation that is at hand. Because of course there is no wrong way to play a tank. There is only a wrong way to play a situation, and different tanks are of course better or worse at different situations. But yeah, there is no perfect way to play a tank. It just constantly adapting to what's going on the battlefield. And that's why I like the 50B, because of the mobility. You can easily relocate and move from one flank of the map to the other with that speed you have, and to support wherever it's necessary, where it's most needed. And I'll be talking a bit more about that, but this battle is coming to an end. It's 1 FV2, 1 5B, 183 left. And he's gonna die quickly. And the next battle will be on Prokhorovka, which is a different kind of map. It's very open, very much about the long range sniping, and about fast moving mediums. But let's get just first this one over with. Okay, that's good. He's dead. Now, so what I'm gonna do here on this map, my idea was to go to B9 there, that whole island area, and play as a proper support tank. You know, mediums going to the hill, F0, the hill approach, spotting, and me supporting them from the back for the first couple of minutes until I figure out what to do next. But then this T62A, he's gonna rush to the exact same spot that I wanted to go to, and there's a medium behind me, and he will follow him as well. So what this is a good example of what I meant when I said that sometimes your team just doesn't allow you to exploit your tank's strength to the fullest, because they're gonna snipe from the back, which means that they forced me in a position that my tank is not very suitable for the hill approach there. Of course, because I have an autoloader, I don't like to be in the front line. Secondly, no gun depression. I'm also a very tall vehicle, so I'll be very exposed up there. But as I said, again, there is no wrong way to play a tank. There is only a wrong way to play a situation, and in this situation, it's still a better option for me to go to the hill approach and then be in a position that is not very good for my tank, than to just stay back with the mediums as well and have nobody here on the hill, because that would mean inevitable defeat, however you look at it. So there's an E100 spotted here on this side of the railroad embankment, and he's very exposed, and I'm just gonna unload on him and do that first 1600 damage volley on him. You can see even at long range this thing is just that accurate. Of course I am using nothing but gold ammo, as you can see, also gold consumables, but this is a test server. Everybody uses nothing but gold ammo and consumables. But the thing is with the test server is that, as you can see, there's nothing but tier 10 tanks. And against tier 10 tanks at long range, you're a support tank, so you'll be sniping from the back more often than not, from a couple hundred meters away. And at long range against you know, heavily armored tier 10s, 258mm penetration can be a bit of a problem. Even though you have such an accurate gun, you can't always hit the weak spots. But on the live server, if you play a 50B, you'll maybe be up against 4 or 5 worst case scenario heavies on each team, and the rest will be tier 9s and 8s, against which even even at long range the 258mm penetration of the normal AP shells will be more than enough to deal with. And here, as you can see, I'm reversing up the hill, because I'm an autoloader. I'm not a frontline tank, which means that if that T-57 heavy and Batchat up there rush me while I'm reloading, I'll be useless here, and all I can do, is just run away as quickly as possible. So I'm reversing up the hill just so that I can get away faster if necessary. But at the moment they're not pushing, and it's kind of a weird situation here, because normally the hill here is the most heated part of the map, and this time all the action is going on in F6 because there's no RT, and I'm kind of on the front line, but I'm supporting the guys in the middle there. So I'm on the front line, but still I'm playing as a support tank. But I thought it was a good impression of how this tank performed at long range sniping, and did a whole lot of damage on those two E100s there. And this batch had made a terrible mistake. I think he hates me for some reason. He just poked out to get a couple shots on me, and he hit me twice, did a little bit of damage, but he lost most of his HP because of it. It's a greedy noob mistake. And now that we have the hill, the middle completely to us, it's completely over that battle there. We're gonna try to capture that hill, but I'm not just gonna rush up here because I didn't know where that 57 heavy was. I wanted to, locate him first, and as he's taken out, I'm gonna go a bit more aggressive and do a full volley on that T62, knowing that I'm gonna take at least 2 more shots from that batch. That's okay, because I had almost all my HP left, and at this stage of the battle, we're winning. The battle is going well in our favor, and it's okay to lose a bit of HP at this stage in the game. I don't mind losing a bit of HP as long as I can do more damage myself. Because doing damage is of course where you get credits and XP from. No, our batch had drones, which make me now the prime target for that 268, and I try to run away, but I'm just too nice a target for him. And I get away with 190 HP, which is perfectly fine. And now it's just a matter of mopping up. But yeah, I went on the hill with 50B, so I thought maybe as well a good demonstration of this tank's hill fighting capabilities, the uphill acceleration and the gun depression, which are gun depression being something that is usually not very good on French tanks. And I get team killed here because I stole the 57 heavy skill. He's calling me a cunt or something. So yeah, 7k damage, 3 kills, good XP. It's not really relevant. So off to the last game that I want to show you guys. And this one is again on a completely different map, or a completely different kind of map, I should say. Siegfried Line, and this map is divided up into 3 parts. First of all, there's in the east of the map the village area, and then in the west of the map there's the green zone, as I call it. It's the open field with a couple of bunkers as cover. And then the third part of the map is where I'm going now. It's like sort of on the edge of the village, where I can use these buildings as cover here, because there's arty on the enemy team and I'm a prime arty target. But if necessary, I can also snipe on the field. And I'm just staying here on this edge, which is where I often go with heavies, because it's one of the most contested roads on the map here, and there's often guys poking out. You can take a couple of shots and fall back quickly if necessary. And you can see here I was having some lag issues, which is why I'm playing on a test server so often lately. Our internet cable from the road to our house got damaged by some roadworks last year, and now with the very wet winter and spring, some water or something managed to damage them, and the defect of the cable was located right under the pavement, and they're gonna have to dig up the whole fucking pavement to repair it, or to lay a new cable in worst case scenario, and we need to get permission from the city council first, which can take up to 6 weeks. So at the moment I'm playing on a very unstable Wi-Fi that I found here in my from one of my neighbors. So about that. But it's not the very best connection. It often disconnects without warning, lags, all of that stuff. And so I'm playing on a test server mainly. I'm trying to help out in Clan Wars when my connection does allow it, with the new campaign now going on. But I don't want to be playing random battles and fucking up other people's games in random battles by disconnecting every 15 minutes. So and here I'm thinking I want to go a bit more aggressive here on this line, the 5 line, but there's a couple of mediums who stayed back, which is kind of not the best thing for them to do, because they had 4 mediums here. If they had just rushed here over the 1-2 line, they would have already been in our base at this point and completely, you know, behind us and completely surrounded us in the village. But you know, they stayed back, which kind of sucks for me because I wanted to go this way. But they will have been useless for their team for the main, for the biggest part. But you know, they did their damage, but only to me. Now this Batchat is rushing, and I'm gonna try to see if I can snipe him, which is why I'm here. But he's behind that dune, and then he gets unspotted. And you need to stop him before he gets to our arty, but I can't just run out in the field to try and intercept him. I'm not fast enough, I'm too big, he's got way too many support. There's that arty as well. So our arty is just gonna have to run away, and someone... You know, we've got 2 mediums here in the city, it's their job to stop the enemy mediums. I'm the heavy, I'm okay here. I'm in a good spot for my tank. But there you go, it's the random factor. And another thing that I want to do before my time runs out is just quickly summarize the review of this tank and quickly summarize how I think you should play this with a couple of points. So the first point being that you're a support tank, you're not a main battle tank. Try to keep your distance from the enemy. Of course, you're also a French tank. You were designed to be played like a coward. So don't be afraid to let the heavily armored vehicles and heavies and TDs take damage for you while you stay a bit back to reload and snipe a bit. The second point is probably the most important point and is the most underestimated point of his tank, or at least the most misused aspect of his tank, is the speed, the mobility. You're a very fast tank, and that speed is not there to rush to the enemy as quickly as possible, rush to their base, or to be the first one in line engaging the enemy. That speed is there to be able to move from one flank of the map to the next, or to wherever your support is most needed. So don't, at the start of the battle, don't go rushing in front of the team, you know, being the first one going to the hill or whatever. That's not what that speed is for. That's just playing suicidal, and you will feel that. But that speed does enable you to move from different parts of the map, from one flank to the next if needed. Just being able to support wherever it is most necessary. That's what that speed is for. And the third part is maybe a smaller part is be cautious. Don't think that, you know, you've got 4 shells, 1600 damage, just peek out around the corner and do a full volley damage. It doesn't work like that. Play this like a normal heavy, even though you have an autoloader. When it comes to corner camping, just wait for the enemy guns to be looking the other way, and then poke out, take a couple opportunity shots, and fall back before they can get their guns back aimed at you. If you're gonna rush as in a large group, in companies or clan wars or whatever, you shouldn't be the first one in line anyway. You should be behind the E5s and the I7s and the main battle tanks. So as with all French heavies, I would just say play cautious. Don't be suicidal, don't be rushing. Take your time, take your distance, and you should be quite alright. And here at this point, I know the battle is over, pretty much. They've got a full health 50B, Batchat, T63A at half health, Fog at full health, and that RT. We cannot win this. Maybe on the live server in a random battle against complete idiots, maybe, but not on a test server where the majority of the players are very experienced. So I'm just gonna do some more damage and get it over with. I wanna go to the next battle. But yeah, for now, for this review, this is the last battle. This was the last battle, I mean. And so I hope maybe if some people watch this who are having problems playing this tank. Not sure how to properly use it. That maybe I hope that you guys learned something from it, and that if you have any more questions or requests of other tanks that you have problems with, just feel free to ask me. Comment on this video below, or send me an email or a message on YouTube. And yeah, as usual, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.